Hey guys, welcome back to the Davidandphaze show. I'm Dave.
It's Faze.
So today we're going to be showing you our zucchini fritters. They are so refreshing, so tasty.
Let's get into it.
We're going to head over to the kitchen. Let's go. Alright guys, we're going to start off by basically shredding down our vegetables. If you don't have this fancy equipment, that's fine. You can use a box shredder. You take a couple zucchinis, take a couple squashes, and you basically just shred them down. So let's go ahead and take that first step here. First one done. Now we're gonna go in with the squash. So now that we got our squash basically shredded down into this consistency, as you can see here, we're gonna do the next step. The next step is we need zucchini and squash have a lot of water content in it, which we need to remove so that when we go ahead and make the mixture and put them into patties and fry them, we don't blow up the house, basically.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, we've had a few close calls with water and oil, so we don't want to repeat that again.
And you don't want your grease and oil to splatter when you put it in your pans. You want to make sure you get as much water out of it as possible, and that's how we're going to do that.
So we're going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of just basic salt. Once we do that, we're just going to mix it around kind of, and that's going to start to release a lot of the water content in here. And we're gonna leave that there for about 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, you wanna get some basic cheesecloth. You can get this at any local grocery store. And you're gonna scoop your mixture of your vegetables, your shredded vegetables, into the cheesecloth. And you're basically gonna strain it out. That's gonna take out all the water, and it saves you time here. Take my vegetable mixture, lay it on top of my cheesecloth, probably in 2 batches, make it a little bit easier for me. And I'll show you guys how I do this. Just throw it in the cheesecloth here. As you can see, the water's already dripping out, the excess water. See all that green water? So once you get all that excess water out of the zucchini, then we're gonna move on to making the mixture, which is basically the fritters. So we got all the water out, most of the water out, we'll say. And we're gonna add that to, we already have a pre-mixed bowl here of dried out zucchini, shredded up zucchini here. So we're gonna add this zucchini to that bowl. As you can see, the consistency here is not wet, it's pretty dry. So as you can see it right here, perfect consistency. And this is all, remember again, this is zucchini and it's also squash. My little secret on what I like, we all like different vegetables, right? I personally love broccoli. So what I did was I went ahead and blanched a couple florets of broccoli. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my blanched broccoli into the mixture. So now I got blanched broccoli with zucchini and with squash. Everything's looking pretty dry, and as you're mixing this and all that, just feel for the moisture content, because again, when you go to fry it, you don't want a lot of moisture in the mixture. I got about a half a cup of green onions, so I'm gonna add half a cup of green onions in here. Then, we're gonna add a couple more things. About a 1/4 cup of white or yellow onions, whatever you prefer, into the mixture. So that's the wet, semi-wet ingredients, if you will. Mix that in really good. Hope you get a good shot of this. See how it just smells good from here. Smell this good. Smells good, huh?
Smells healthy.
Yep, smells healthy, and we need to be healthy. So I'm gonna add about a half a cup, 1/4 cup, half a cup into that mixture. And then my 2 binders. Binders are gonna keep everything together, so when I ball them up and I go ahead and deep fry them, or when I saute them, they're gonna stay together. Use Italian breadcrumbs because it's already got the flavor in it. So about a half a cup of Italian breadcrumbs, or whatever you like. Then I'm gonna rough mix it in here. Get it all talking to each other and being friendly here in the bowl. And then the next binder I'm gonna use is gonna be 2 beaten eggs. And that's really gonna bind it together. And you want to get, like when you're doing this, there's no wrong or right way to do it, but you want to get it to a consistency to where you can ball it up and it doesn't fall apart. That's the whole thing behind putting binders in it. Because if you don't, then again, you're just gonna have a hot oil bath of just little pieces of fried, probably burnt, fried vegetables. So now I got it to kind of like a loose dough consistency. So as you can see how it's binding up now, and it's in my hand. It's sticking, right?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of consistency you're looking for. You don't want it too wet, and you don't want it too dry to where it's just falling apart.
Like a meatloaf kind
Yeah, kind of like a meatloaf. You got to get the right consistency, and you can feel that through your hand. So if you're not some pro chef like me, or Face, then you'll feel it with your hand. We want to season this pretty well because there's really no seasoning in it other than the salt we use to pull out the water. I like to just go with the basic garlic salt. So add, I would say if you're the measuring type, which we're not, we taste measure in this house. I would say maybe a teaspoon of garlic salt. Garlic salt is such a big staple in this house. I mean, who doesn't love garlic? Everybody loves garlic, right? Add the pepper into here. So we got pepper, cheese, garlic, salt, with the taste of the veggies automatically. And then just for a little bit of added acidity in these fritters, because most things need a little bit of acidity, which I save a lemon for the end. I like to put a little bit of lemon inside the mixture, just to give it that added flavor profile. So I'll just get a half a lemon, squeeze this down. Once it's to the consistency that you need it to be, that we're gonna fry these. Shallow fry, pretty simple. We got a hot plate here with extra virgin olive oil. Do you want to have a drink?
Oh yeah, it's a drink time?
I think it's drink time.
My favorite time.
Yep.
So just a quick little segue. I know you guys see it. Let's get a close up here.
If you can't see on our cups, it says DMP.
Y'all know who this is. That's Dave, this is Faze.
Yep.
I need a drink. We have our hot plate here ready to go. Just put it on medium. You don't want to burn me, so I say like about a medium to medium low temperature.
Yeah.
Not too hot. So David's gonna go ahead and form the patties here.
If you've ever done like a drop biscuit or anything, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be, I would say maybe 2 ice cream scoops would be perfect for this recipe. And then you ball it up into a little ball, and once you drop it in, you're just gonna smash it, kind of like a smash burger.
Have your kids help with this recipe too. Maybe not so much with the frying, but have them get in there and just get them in the kitchen early. That's me and David. I feel like that's what got us in the kitchen as our parents. We were in the kitchen, help our moms and our grandmas cook and things. So this is a great opportunity to get your kids in the kitchen.
And this recipe also lends itself to hiding vegetables. I know so many kids nowadays are like, they're not turned on by vegetables. They don't like vegetables. I mean, in my day, I was forced to eat vegetables. I don't know about you, William.
Yeah.
So again, we basically got the mixture going. You see the consistency. It's not falling over everywhere. It's not just spilling out. It's pretty together. The last binding agent we're going to use is going to be AP flour, and we're also going to add, I believe we added cornstarch.
Was it a little bit? Yeah.
Was it cornstarch?
Cornstarch. Yeah.
So we added a little bit of cornstarch just to add for the crispiness. So if you don't know, it's a little secret. Anytime you're frying anything, whether it's chicken, beef, anything, and it requires flour, if you add a little bit of cornstarch to the flour, it makes it extra crispy. So when you go to KFC and get the extra crispy, that's what they do. Or when you go to Popeyes or your favorite chicken place and it's super crispy, they add a little bit of cornstarch because that adds to the crispiness of the skin or whatever it is. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that here. And this is, again, just AP mixture, all-purpose flour.
You probably don't need a lot at all.
Yeah, you just got a feel for the texture of it. And remember, it's, so say if you got a cup of all-purpose flour, then you want to put, I would say, a 1/4 cup cornstarch. You can also use potato flour?
Potato starch.
Potato starch. Potato starch they have at all your local Walmarts, Targets. But it's, you don't want to add a lot of that. The main part of this is going to be the all-purpose flour.
Yeah, this part, it's kind of hard to do measurements. You kind of really want to feel, and you'll know when it's right. If it's too thick, add a little bit more moisture. If it's too moist, add a little bit more thickening.
You can make them as big, as small as you want. It really just depends on how you want to do it. What I make the mistake of all the time is over salting stuff.
She does. He be trying to kill me. He be literally trying to kill me. I'll be like, oh man, this is heck good.
It's hecka salty though.
I'll be like, just pass me the water bottle. But
Alright, so I'm going to get 2 scoops here, just a generalization, just to kind of have a good idea of how big. And you can make these fritters as big or as small as you want. It's all up to you. So I'm just going to get them, kind of roll them into a ball, kind of like this, do you see? And we're going to make sure our temperature is up, and we're just basically going to throw them in the extra virgin olive oil, like so. And you're just going to keep going with the process. When I drop them in, I do smash. You want to smash them down?
yeah.
Yeah, here's a what's it called?
You know what I was just thinking as you were saying that? You know, just looking at the way you were forming them, these would be good as like an alternative, like maybe a vegetarian option, maybe like a patty or like a burger.
Yeah, oh yeah, you could totally make burgers out of these and have a vegetarian option. These are such a good, fresh, refreshing summertime type of dish. But how many times have we eaten these already? We eat these all the time.
I like it because they're just so easy. They're so versatile. They're so forgiving. You can really do anything.
And you can literally eat a whole plate of them, and you don't feel bad. Like,
yeah, see, this is the one thing I could eat a whole plate of, and I don't get any complaints.
It's all vegetables, especially if you're on like any kind of diet or anything like that. There are some things you can omit from this, or you can add to it, but. Like I said, these recipes that we aim to be making are so versatile for us, and that's the goal.
These are looking good already.
Yeah, they're browning up, right?
They smell good, yeah.
Yep, see? Perfect. And also, another little tip for you guys. I didn't do it on this recipe, but if you like to spice like I do and like he does, go ahead and dice up some fine jalapenos or some serranos and throw them in the mixture.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Or
it's like some red pepper flakes.
Yeah, or red, that even better. I'm gonna garnish them probably with some red pepper. That would be good because the best thing to garnish them with is basically just a little bit of sour cream, or you can even dip them in ranch. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and finish the frying of these, and we'll come back and see you in a minute, and we'll show you the golden brown goodness. All right, guys. So we got a lot of them in here, and they are toasting up perfectly brown. As you can see, they are beautifully crusted on the outside.
It smells so good.
It smells amazing. It smells like it's giving off garlic. It's giving off veggies. It just smells fresh. Fresh for the stomach.